One, two, one, two. Mic check. One, two, one, two. This is a sound check. We are checking the sound. One, two, three, four. A, B. All right. You good, Charles? Nope. No? Okay, keep going. All right. We're going to keep going. I know the rest of my alphabets A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Mic check. And it's about 70 degrees. I had on a pea coat this morning and I had to take it off because I'm sweating now. Oh yeah, it was pretty thick. It was thick, but I needed it this morning. I had to shoot this morning, just an hour. Around the corner, there was a park. Our the city's new historian, Jaman, he gave he gave us a. We good?
Good afternoon, Detroit. My name is Camille Walker Banks. I'm the Executive Director of LISC Detroit. And LISC is a local organization of the Local Initiative Support Corporation Network that includes 38 offices in urban areas across the country, as well as rural offices that serve more than 44 states. LISC mission is to help forge resilient and inclusive communities of opportunity across America. The goal is that every low-income community has the chance to thrive. This equips struggling communities with the capital, the strategy, and the know-how to become places where people can thrive. The creation and preservation of housing affordability in Detroit is crucial and one of our key initiatives. Our motivation for preserving affordable housing is the impact made on individual households, on neighborhoods, and on the community level. The Detroit Housing for the Future Fund is a valuable safeguard and resource, particularly during a time of rising housing costs, inflation, as well as stagnant or shrinking incomes. It is crucial today at this moment to ensure that Detroit remains a place where we can all afford to call home and live in quality housing. Creating a long-term affordable housing strategy is foundational to ensuring healthy places for our families to grow and thrive. And our response is the Detroit Housing for the Future Fund, a resource that is available to real estate developers, designed to encourage investment in affordable housing, new or preserved, rehabbed, multiple family housing. The Detroit Housing for the Future Fund, also known as DHFF, is a private investment fund that launched in 2022. The fund aimed at directing $75 million in capital to affordable housing in Detroit, anchored by a $15 million commitment from JP Morgan Chase and a guarantee from the Kresge Foundation. DHFF is managed by LISC Detroit and LISC Strategic Investments, and is a part of the larger Affordable Housing Leverage Fund, an initiative with the City of Detroit's Housing Revitalization Department. DHFF deploys flexible loan capital and private grants to complement and leverage public investment through the City of Detroit and the Michigan State Housing Development Authority, as well as other tax credits and affordable housing finance tools. So for more information and for funding opportunities, please visit www.detroithousingforthefuturefund.org. The Bell Nord Apartments is the second completed development in the DHFF portfolio. To date, the Detroit Housing for the Future Fund has closed 9 deals, 3 with developers of color grants to ensure equitable development opportunities and support for anyone looking to play a role in our goal to create and preserve affordable housing. We have 269 units completed. Let me update that. We have almost 300 with the Bell Nord completed units, and 260 units are below 80% area median income. There are 8 additional deals in the closing process and approximately $21 million in debt and preferred equity invested in Detroit so far. The DHFF program is being duplicated across the country due to its impact, our partnership structure, and the successes we've seen in Detroit. So I am grateful to the Bell Nord Apartments owners and developer, and it is with gratitude for an impactful partnership that is rooted in our collective mission, and my honor to invite the Mayor of Detroit to the podium, Mike Duggan. Hello.
All right. Well, thank you, Camille, and congratulations. The Detroit Housing for the Future Fund is rapidly becoming one of the great good news stories in the city of Detroit, building affordable housing across the city. 3 years ago, I went to JP Morgan Chase and the Kresge Foundation and LISC and a number of others and said, we are going to have a need in this city to build more affordable housing so that the folks who stayed can continue to make their homes here, even though property values are rising. And the Detroit Housing for the Future Fund, good to see you. The Detroit Housing for the Future Fund has given us that financing. This is the second project in 2 weeks completed. So you got 29 affordable units at the Belle Nord behind me, including 5 brand new units that are being built, all of them affordable. There are 5 more under construction today across this city, and 3 more that will be under construction in the near future. And if you look at what we're doing in this area, this was a forgotten, basically abandoned. You got the county road yard there. You had abandoned factories across 94. If you look across 94, that huge white building is about to become one of Detroit's major housing projects that Greg Jackson is doing in the Fisher 21 plant. Across the street from that building is the old Studebaker plant. That platform is turning into housing. And so this area is going from an abandoned industrial area to an area that's going to create long-term affordable opportunities for Detroiters. So my congratulations to Ed Siegel, who has been building in this area for some time. He had the vision and who completed this project, and for all of our partners who have helped make this possible. We are just going to keep doing this month after month. We know what Detroiters are facing in the pressure of rising property values and rising rents. Rising property values are great news for the owners in this city that stayed. It's increasing the wealth in this community. But for people who were renting, I know the pressure you're feeling. And we're going to keep building new units faster than any city in the Midwest. And today's another good example of that. And with that, I want to turn it over to one of the outstanding people in Detroit's Housing and Revitalization Department who's been driving a lot of this, Kelly Vickers. Kelly?
Thank you very much. My name is Kelly Vickers. I'm the Chief Development and Investment Officer for the Housing and Revitalization Department. I'm thrilled to be here with you all today to celebrate the grand reopening of the Belle Nord. HRD works to increase the quality of life in Detroit through affordable housing and community development investments. A key piece of what we do to ensure that Detroit builds back, there's going to be opportunity for people of all incomes and backgrounds in projects like this one behind me. HRD does this, in this case, by partnering with LISC Detroit to fundraise and direct low-cost capital through the Detroit Housing for the Future Fund. This type of renovation wouldn't be possible without that sort of financial tool. And so we're always working with our local resources to leverage as many federal grants and awards from the state and federal resources that we can, but we also see that there's a need to do these without those sorts of resources, and the Belle Nord is proof that it can be done without those federal tax credits and federal grant awards. So it's really great, and it's nice to see that it can happen in a neighborhood like this where there's so much investment happening, and that it ensures that affordable units will be provided to Detroiters who are earning as little as 50% of the area median income. It takes a lot of work and coordination among partners to make something like this achievable, and so I want to take a moment to recognize some of the individual efforts. And I want to thank Ed Siegel, our developer, who found a really beautiful building and restored it to its former glory, while ensuring affordable housing to Detroiters. So thank you, Ed. I want to thank Keegan Mahoney from HRD, who has been critical to ensuring that we're coordinating with our partners like LISC Detroit and with our partners at the state, so that we can identify as many of these projects as possible. And last but certainly not least, I want to thank the folks at LISC Detroit, specifically Vic Abla and Brandon Ivory, who have been absolutely instrumental in identifying quality affordable housing projects like this one and pushing them through to see that they get completed. So thank you all for having me here to speak on behalf of HRD.
Thank you, Kelly. I would also like to express gratitude to the LISC team, and to also acknowledge one of our corporate partners who, if not for them, we would not be here today making the investment that we're making. So thank you, Marilyn Thomas from CIBC Bank. So next, I would like to introduce the developer who we're honoring today, Edward Siegel. Come to the podium to give some words about his project. And thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Walker-Banks. Thank you, Mayor Duggan, council members who couldn't make it today, Mr. Vickers, and everyone else for coming out today to celebrate with us. When I say us, I'm talking about my good friend and partner, Aaron Johnson, as well as our team over here. We've been working together for years now, and God willing, we'll have many more together. We started looking at this project. We were trying to figure out if we could get it done, given the constraints of competitively marketed property, an established tenancy, and a tricky construction project. We soon knew we could do the work if we had the right partner. Luckily for us, the timing was perfect. Just as the announcement of the Detroit Housing for the Future Fund occurred, we had an agreement to purchase the property. The fund wanted those things that we wanted: reactivate down units, continue the established relationship with tenants, provide working capital for repairs, and their commitment to doing so made the deal possible for us. It wasn't easy, with inflationary pressures on construction and COVID protocols, just to name a few. But we are happy with the results, and we're happy that more people can live in an area with easy access to major employers of downtown and midtown. So to LISC, the City of Detroit, the Housing for the Future Fund, we thank you again for your time, your commitment to us, and for understanding that there is a need in for this type of financing that had been previously missing before. With that, I'll turn it over to Shay Dockery, a new tenant that we are thrilled to have at the Belnord.
Thank you all. Hi, I'm so excited to be here to represent my lovely living quarters, and thank you to the council, thank you to Mayor. Love meeting Ed, and it's been a journey coming here. I am a native Detroiter, and before moving here, I was currently homeless. Because there was such a big gap with affordable housing, I couldn't find anything for me and my family. I am a mom of 2 daughters, 3 and 5, and I am currently going through a transition from being married to now being divorced. So now my finances had trembled a little. So coming and going my search for new housing, it was hard. Wanting to have so many things on my list completed. One was in a safe area that was good for me and my family. The second was a reasonable area for schooling, safety for them so they can get back and forth to home. Not having transportation, I love living sustainably, being able to walk to my job that's right across the street. These was my big sign-offs from coming into this apartment, and then coming into the community and knowing that I'm somewhere safe, comfortable, and reliable. I love everything about where I live now. I've been here for about 5 months and looking to continue my journey here. Everything is spacious, the high ceilings. I love the old wood, but it's also antique because I love vintage. And also the new renovations that's being done to the building. Everything I can say is just mind-boggling because I just was once coming from living in a car to now having an actual place to stay. So this really helped my life and my journey, and I've loved what you guys are doing for affordable housing and also moving forward in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Shay, for sharing. All right, we'll open the floor to questions. I don't know if there's any questions. Any questions?
So my struggle was really the areas, and most areas in Detroit didn't have reasonable rent for me. If I wanted a nice amenities or a nice atmosphere, it was hard. It was always a little bit higher than my bracket. It was a hard trying to find any type of availability because everyone was looking for apartments or looking for houses. So the ones that was kind of getting snatched up were gone. My family was like, maybe you should think about living outside of Detroit. And that was what everyone was speaking about. You know, maybe you should go outside of Detroit. But I knew that I wanted to stay where I was grounded. And the struggle was months. It was months in. until somebody had introduced me to the new apartments that were here. And they were like, maybe you should check these out. And I knew that in a midtown area, I can't afford that. But then I looked into like all the resources, and it was affordable, and I was able to move in. So it was a struggle trying to find some type of standard about living with if it was rent or a nice area. I didn't want my children to come outside and be able to get either in a fight or an issue. Now they can come outside, they can play, they can go to the park, they can walk around. That was always my biggest thing on safety for my children's future. Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, well, thank you for coming out.